7 people are about to make history, attempting a journey that's never been done before.
I didn't come on this expedition to be pushed.
With no expedition experience, they're going to journey an incredible 1,500 kilometers across Africa. And they're all disabled. Richie was born without arms. Kim has cerebral palsy. Paraplegics Heidi and Kate are in wheelchairs.
I'm paralysed from the waist down. I cannot have somebody sitting on my fucking lap.
Sophie has achondroplasia.
Oh, my feet are feeling it a bit.
Cholton, Tim, and Georgie all lost limbs in horrific accidents.
My stump is swollen. Just give me some water.
Pam and Mark are deaf.
I don't hear anything without my hearing aid.
And Pete has Tourette's.
I think I'm normal. I think everyone else was mad. But there you go.
They'll cross mosquito-infested swamplands, come face to face with wild animals, endure the scorching heat of the world's oldest desert, and climb mountainous sand dunes. Not all of them will make it.
I want to go home. I've had enough.
Come on, we are a team. We will not be bloody beaten by this country.
But every one of them accepts the challenge to push themselves beyond the boundaries of their disability and change the perception of others. Last time, the team experienced the grueling journey along the banks of the Zambezi River, through the steaming swamps of East Namibia. Pushed to their limit, the exhausted group have now reached the halfway stage of the expedition, but it's come at a cost. 2 members have left. Pam, whose heat stroke made it too dangerous for her to go on.
Stay with us, stay with us.
I've always succeeded in everything I've done. I've never had to go home as a failure.
And Richie, who found camp life and growing divisions within the team just too much.
It's not a race, it's supposed to be a team effort, and you're not in the team.
Really? Is that fucking right, Richie? Is that fucking right?
They're now split into 2 factions, those determined to get ahead as fast as possible and at all costs.
Can we at least try and pick the pace up a little bit, please? This is killing me here.
And those who've struggled to keep up. There have been huge flare-ups between 2 stronger members,
Hey?
Tim and Heidi.
Might be a wheelchair, but I'm not.
Wasn't I putting him on your chair? No, I fucking wasn't. So shut the fuck up.
Paraplegic Heidi has an iron resolve to complete the trip. But she wants to do it without relying too much on her teammates.
Get out of my face at the moment, Tim, please. I'll push, thank you.
The clash of wills between 2 such strong personalities has shaken and upset the others.
We need to be a strong unit to get through this. And, you know, arguments and stuff like that is not good for the team.
Day 16. It begins like many before, with Tim and Heidi at loggerheads.
Highly flammable.
Grates on my nerves right now. His voice just grates on my nerves. His attitude is just so, you know, I'm shit hot, look at me.
And it smells good too.
His voice just booms over everything when we're in camp.
Under these strained conditions, they prepare for the most ambitious and treacherous part of their journey so far. They've decided to cross the Etosha National Park. The size of Wales and home to some of the world's most dangerous animals. From here they must cross the Namib Desert, over 200 kilometers of burning sand and rock, before they reach their final destination, the Atlantic Ocean. To get them there is the job of expedition leader Ken Hames.
It's quite an historic day. This is the first time ever an expedition has been allowed to cross the Etosha Pans. bar none. No one's ever done it before. So a remarkable thing that it should be an expedition of people with disability. Now let's be positive about this morning. I know there's a certain amount of apprehension in the air.
The team are uneasy about the dangers of Etosha, but wish to attempt a crossing as it's the most direct route to the coast.
Of the Rangers.
For Sophie, with achondroplasia, the prospect of walking through open country isn't a pleasant one.
A bit nervous, but this is it, we're doing it. There's no turning back now. Gotta just get on with it. Yeah, but I can't help, I'm feeling nervous.
They're very apprehensive, of course. I'm really apprehensive because there is a lot of stuff wandering around out there. There's 400 lion here, 900 rhino, and about 4,000 elephant. So a lion can just lie in the bush and you just won't see him till you're 2 feet away.
Ken knows the danger this poses and has acquired the help of Head Ranger Emmanuel and 7 of his deputies, all armed with semi-automatic weapons.
If a lion came, for example, now we are walking in the field, my men will be there first to be attacked instead of the group which we are leading.
With guards flanking the team on either side, they set off for a 25-kilometre trek through the bush to one of Emmanuel's ranger stations. Very soon they come face to face with the harsh realities of life in the wild. A lone wildebeest with a broken leg. Separated from its herd, easy meat for lions.
If you hadn't noticed, guys, there's 2 vultures above your head there, leopard-faced vultures. Working as a team. They might be looking at that wildebeest there, you know, because they know that wildebeest is in, just got a broken leg.
Has it gone away to die to protect the rest of the herd?
Well, it can't run, so that's why it's been so agitated. It's been snorting and running around because it's frustrated because it can't run off with the rest of the group, and it's here isolated on its own with a broken leg, so it won't last long. Let's go.
Leg amputee Cholton, who's taken Tim's place in pushing Heidi, is beginning to suffer.
You can see Cholton's really struggling today. He's limping, and he's not his normal strong and energetic self. Walking on a hot, humid day like today is hard on an amputee because he's using about 25% more energy. The leg doesn't attach so well, it moves around, and on the stump you get areas of rubbing.
I feel like I'm flaking out a bit.
With the group slowing to match Cholton's pace, they're becoming more vulnerable.
Stop.
8 kilometres into the trek, Ken's worst fears are realised. Blocking the way just off the track, a lone bull elephant, the largest and most unpredictable animal in Etosha. Last year, 15 people were killed by elephant charges in southern Africa.
It's not being dramatic, it's a real danger out here. The elephant's very unpredictable, and I'm just going to have a chat to Brian to see what's good.
Ken consults with big game hunter Brian Barkley, who's been with them from the start.
He's busy dusting himself and that. He seems to be pretty stationary there.
Okay.
It's not too far off the road. I mean, we're talking maybe 50 metres or so. And I think that the risk is it's unacceptable. We can't walk past him with especially with mobility problems.
What I'd like to happen is just to find some shade on the side of the road down here. Then we can just go forward and assess the situation again. Just keep your voices down.
There goes the elephant now, off to the left.
He is a biggie, my God.
Can you see him now?
Yeah. For us to see him like that, he must be friggin' huge.
We'll just keep an eye on him for a few minutes, yeah.
Brian tells them to carry on in silence.
Just go really, really slow, okay?
Are they fast, Ken?
Yeah, they need to be, yeah.
I can't see it.
Stop.
Suddenly he's there again, coming back towards the road.
Coming back this way, Emma.
Do you guys just want to keep about 20 feet behind them?
With the path ahead blocked and with no protection, they have to give the elephant a wide berth and leave the track. This year the rains have come early. The bush is in full leaf, making predators hard to spot. What's more, they must negotiate a maze of camel thorn bushes, whose barbs can easily puncture the wheelchair's tyres.
Camel thorn country. Okay, they're all over the place, guys.
Shout, get your voice down.
Okay.
Incredibly, one member of the team is left behind. Unfazed by the danger and straggling at the back is Tourette syndrome sufferer Peter, fascinated by the butterflies landing on the elephant's droppings.
There's a whole road full of them like that. They're not all the same type or the same breed, they're all completely different colours.
Come on, Peter!
It's not the first time his behaviour has bemused the others. One facet of Peter's condition, a diminished sense of danger, and a compulsion to do exactly the opposite to the rest of the group. There's no time for straggling. Just 200 metres into the bush, the new route leads the team directly onto a zebra carcass being ripped apart by jackals. A sure sign there are bigger predators around. Ken has no doubt as to what they may be.
Lion.
The lion tracks are fresh. The team are on full alert, wary of every movement and rustle in the bush.
What's over there?
And it doesn't take long for their fears to become a reality.
If you look to your left now, you see a lion running across the plain.
Where? See the gap right in the centre. It's bigger than that one as well.
Just gone behind the bushes.
It stopped.
It's coming to, it's changed, it's coming this direction now.
Ken urgently consults Emmanuel and Brian.
Let's go and get him in a bit of shade.
While he does so, one of Heidi's wheelchair tyres is punctured.
Oh, fuck. I should have left it in.
Is it puncture?
Yeah.
This, as well as Chorlton's inflamed stump, forces a drastic decision. The area is just too dangerous. The team must leave and head for the nearest ranger station over 5 kilometres away. From there, they'll complete the rest of the Etosha National Park journey in the safety of the backup truck. As they pack, the pressures of the day mount. The ongoing love-hate relationship between Tim and Heidi erupts.
I've absolutely no idea what your problem is. I haven't snapped at you or done anything. You're just a hypersensitive person.
Yesterday.
Snapped at you.
And the day before. So just forget it. Fuck off. Forget it. Forget
I
it.
feel like a bitch in front of everybody on the group. They all now think I'm a total bitch because you're having a little soul.
You talk to them the same way you've been talking to me until 2 days ago.
Tim. Jesus Christ. See, now they all think I'm a total bitch. See? Fucking hell. I've just been ostracised from the whole group again. I'm the one that's done fucking wrong because he's having a little fucking strop. Thanks a lot, Tim. I'll be the bitch all day now.
32, Heidi is sports mad and loves the outdoors. 3 years ago, when working as a tree surgeon, her life was shattered in a freak accident. A tree fell on her. It broke her back, leaving her a paraplegic. Despite this, Heidi's been determined to maintain a positive outlook. At home, she works out on her cross-country mountain bike. She's also a valuable member of Brighton basketball team.
I don't even class myself as disabled. I am Heidi, I'm not Heidi in the wheelchair.
Asserting her independence is a priority.
One thing that gets on my nerves is people continuously asking if they can help, if I'm okay. Oh, aren't you brave? It's like, I'm not brave, I'm just normal. Do I look like I need help? If I'm going to ask for help, I'll ask for help. I don't know what I've done. I seriously
Look,
do
you're
not
a bitch,
know what
okay?
I've done.
You are not a bitch.
I don't know what I've done.
But you do have issues, and you're very
Issues about
aggressive
what?
and very rude.
About
at
what?
times. I don't know. But you obviously do have them because you're very aggressive and very rude at times, Heidi.
I'm aggressive. Fucking hell. Okay.
Oh,
you're not going to go. I'm with you.
You're alright. Can they not play that just a little? Right now, I might as well just fucking go home because I can't sit in the scoop all day.
What's that?
Thanks to one person, I've been totally fucking made it look like shit.
You, Heidi, not get the camera on this.
Fuck off, Tim, alright?
You.
I've done fuck all, and I'm
Yes,
not
you are.
aggressive.
Yes,
I'm
you
not
are.
going to go at anybody.
What's
You've had to
this?
go at me several
What's
times.
this?
I've done fuck
What's
all.
this? What's this?
Because you're making me look like a bitch in front of the whole fucking team when I've done
You're
nothing.
making you look like a bitch, Heidi. You're making you
I
look
can't.
like a bitch.
I'm sorry. I can't sit in this truck today. I can't sit here. I'll either go home or I'll go and see somebody else. I'm not sitting in this fucking truck. I want out of this truck now. Carry me over. Just put me on the grass or something, please, Dan. I'm not sitting in this truck all day.
Oh, what's that?
I've done fuck all.
As the others look on, it's Peter who comforts Heidi.
Right now, I just want to get away from the whole fucking group right now. Not the group. I just want to get away from Kate and Tim because they're making me want to go home, and I really don't want to go home because I am having such a fantastic fucking time.
Everybody is under a lot of pressure, and it's very difficult to make allowances or keep making allowances and keep making big allowances for somebody.
Kate has hated me since we started this fucking trip. She is an aggressive person. Kate has issues. I certainly don't have any issues. That's why I came on this trip, because I'm an incredibly happy person nowadays.
I still think she's a great person.
Yeah.
And she's having a real tough time with
I think 3 years
breaking
is
her
very
back. I mean,
soon. 3
she's told me
years
a
is
little
very
bit
soon.
about what her life was like beforehand. And it seems quite similar to the way my life was before my
I
accident.
fucking handled this enough at school.
And the thing is, I think I maybe know where she's at, but she won't acknowledge that. So it kind of leaves nowhere to go.
8 years ago, Tim lost control of his motorbike and smashed into a car at 60 miles an hour. The nerves from his left arm were ripped from his spinal cord, leaving the limb paralysed. He was 23.
So over the following 6 years, my arm went from being something like this to pretty much skin and bone. At that point, I just grabbed every pill that I had and shoved them all down my throat. Attempted suicide, basically.
After living with the withered arm for 7 years, Tim decided to have it amputated. He buried it himself on a Welsh hillside near his home.
Didn't have any kind of ceremony or anything when I buried it. It was a personal thing. It was closure, you know. It was complete. It was the end of a chapter, you know, and very much the beginning of a far more exciting, rewarding and beneficial chapter.
Pete persuades Heidi to get back in the truck and they move off. The 200-kilometre trip around the park is spent in silence. They each reflect on the day's events.
I don't feel sorry for anybody because I feel we're all in the same boat together, and I think a few people are feeling sorry for themselves, and I think that's where the problem is a bit.
I didn't really know what the argument was about, and frankly I don't really care. The group arguments really do need sorting out because it destroys morale.
I just think the spirit of compromise might be good in the team.
That evening at camp, Kate, Heidi's fellow wheelchair user, draws on the experience of her own recovery after a car crash 14 years ago.
Heidi is relatively new to her injury, and it takes a long time, in my experience, to adjust to your new identity. She will be very reluctant to ask for help. And Heidi has an unfortunate way of rejecting help. She is not yet very gracious about it, and it can come across as being very aggressive and very stroppy.
Heidi's life changed utterly 3 years ago. What the group see as aggression may mask her deep anxiety about what the future holds.
The hardest thing about being in a wheelchair is that guys don't dig chicks in wheelchairs. I think they just don't even look at me anymore. They see the wheelchair and pretty much turn the opposite direction. They just think it's going to be hard work. Whereas if a guy has time to talk to me and actually get to know me, they realise that I'm actually pretty much the same as a normal person, I'm just in a wheelchair. Of course, at my age, at 32, I have to think about children. As far as I'm concerned, it is possible for me to have children. In 3 years, I've had one boyfriend.
I mean, finding a partner is fucking hard work.
You're not stuck in a wheelchair, you ain't got a fucking clue, mate.
Well,
I think that's
okay.
I think there are pros and cons on both sides about being disabled and sexuality. In my experience as a female, you know, using a wheelchair, being disabled, in some ways it's an icebreaker for the men, you know, and they want to care for me, which is lovely. It's really nice.
If that's what you want.
I want to be cared for, yeah, of course I want to be cared for.
Do you think you'd be more attractive if you were not disabled, like individually?
Because
I do.
I think
You're saying, yeah, Heidi, why?
I don't have a problem until I had a wheelchair stuck to me.
Heidi, you've only had your 3 years ago since you had your accident, was it like that? And so basically, you're still a baby when it comes down to being disabled. You've not had that very long, so you're still dealing with what's going on.
The body image.
And it's all that it's a mental thing. It's like it's going to probably take you because it's a big accident which has happened to you. And so when you actually get over of all these things you couldn't do and sort of deal with what's going on now, then things will change. Mentally you change and the whole world will change as well.
But I'm having a fantastic life. The only thing that's not right in my life is relationships.
Yeah.
Everything in my life is going perfectly well right now. I was on my own for a year and a half before I broke my back. Well, after I broke my back, sorry.
Right.
And then I met my last boyfriend and we were together for a year, and then we finished 4 months before I came on this expedition.
Right.
And in the whole time I've broken my back, he's the only person who's ever looked at me. Now, for me, that is a big issue because I've never had a problem before.
Heidi.
And I'm 32 years old, and I do not want to spend the rest of my life single.
I assure you, he's not the only person to look at you. He's the only person that you've noticed look at you. I guarantee you. I guarantee you.
Okay.
Day 17. With Etosha National Park behind them, they've camped in scrub bush on the fringes of the Namib Desert. Ahead lies 140 kilometers of baking, hostile terrain. To attempt to cross it by themselves would be reckless. They need guides to help them through. They've come to ask the help of the local experts, the Himba.
Pete there, Pete.
Just trying to get permission to get in the village. It's a formal kind of greeting to make sure that we recognise the Himba customs. I'm just waiting for the boss, the head man, to come out and give the team permission to come in.
The Himba are nomadic herders and masters of the desert. They can survive on just 1 cup of water a day. They've always kept their traditional way of life.
No, don't eat it. Wait.
After some hard bargaining, a deal is struck. 4 Himba will accompany them across the desert. To celebrate the deal, there'll be a feast. It's down to the men to slaughter a goat, which, according to Himba custom, will also foretell the fortunes of the expedition. The only volunteer to help with this task is Peter.
Like a lamb to the slaughter. And I'm a vegetarian.
At 54, Peter McIver is the oldest group member and the only one without a physical disability. He has Tourette's. His condition was undiagnosed for 43 years till he saw it portrayed on TV.
I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. I was thinking, oh my God, it's something just like me. And I'd been told all my life that I am the only person. It's you, you're just being stupid, it's habits and stuff like that.
As a result of his condition, Peter's been ridiculed for most of his life.
Gangs of kids who would just punch me and kick me and spit at me and even sometimes wrestle me to the floor. In recent years, I've been called a weirdo, a freak. Mothers pull their children away from me as I'm walking down the road. Old ladies look at me horrified and cross the road to get out of my way and then look over the shoulder at me.
Peter's strategy for dealing with this is simply to withdraw.
So you have to take it on the chin, and then people think you're an idiot or they think you're weak or you're a coward, but you're not actually. You're just kind of, it's like hearing the same joke over and over again. Because there's nothing that anybody can say to me that I haven't already heard or I don't already know.
One aspect of Tourette's is a compulsion to break rules and do the opposite of everyone else. So while the others recoil at the slaughter of the goat, Peter gets fully involved, despite being a vegetarian.
How's it going, Pete?
Not too bad, actually.
Yeah?
It's tough, hard work.
Have you done this before?
No. I haven't eaten meat for 21 years either.
No?
No.
Are you vegetarian, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, crikey.
It's the Himba way, so
yeah.
It's my way, Philip. I know a lot of vegetarians will be hating me guts now, but they're not here and now. And they don't need to get across that desert, and they don't need these people's help. And without doing this, they wouldn't take us across the desert. It's totally confirmed me as a committed non-meat eater. Yeah. I feel sorry for the goat.
I'm enjoying the fact that Pete's doing it. Yeah. You know?
Wow. The team's new guide is also called Peter. He'll join them with 3 of his family. The 2 Peters get on well, and as is customary here, the future success or failure of the expedition is read according to the shape of the goat's entrails. It's not the news they want to hear. And tonight's celebratory supper will be the last proper food till they reach the Atlantic.
This is exactly like Jamaican dumpling. Exactly. So
what's it like?
I don't know what this is tribal. This is exactly like fried dumpling.
And they got the sweet bread. It's a bit like a donut without the sugar. It's gorgeous, isn't it? I'm very pleasantly surprised.
Undeterred by the grim predictions, Peter raises everyone's spirits.
Hey, hey, hey!
I mean, I'm glad to be back in my roots, where I actually come from, and joining with the customs. It felt really good, and you know, I'm really appreciating this whole experience. I'm quite happy. I'm really am happy.
We have had an absolutely fantastic day. We've been with the Himba tribe. The Himba tribe are my kind of people. I knew they would be. These are the desert people. I've slaughtered a goat. I've skinned it. I've chopped it up. I haven't eaten any meat for 21 years. But it had to be done. And all the pain and illness and the heat, everything has been all worthwhile just for this one night with the Himba people, because the Himbas rock.
Day 18. After nearly 1,500 kilometers, they now face the most grueling part of their journey. 140 kilometers of unremitting, burning rock and sand. From now on, there's no shade, no water, no clear path. Even the donkeys don't like it.
He's saying I don't want to walk over the Namib Desert, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, you've got to persuade him to otherwise.
With 130 kilometers of desert ahead, the donkeys will be the group's lifeline, carrying supplies or casualties. The teams devised a push-pull system for the 2 wheelchairs, which they hope will power them across rough ground. It requires 2 people for each wheelchair. Today they must cover 20 kilometers. Chiltern has high expectations of the team's performance.
What we hope to do, we've got 4 hours to do 15k. And in this pace, we should be able to do it.
It's only 8 o'clock in the morning and it's already 26 degrees. By sort of 11 o'clock, it'll be through the mid-30s. They've gone off at a heck of a pace this morning, and it's good to see in one way, but, you know, they've got to pace themselves, otherwise they'll wear themselves out before they've got very, very far. It's going to be really hot, really hot.
As the temperature rises into the high 30s, the blistering pace takes its toll on Kim. She's soon left behind. Chiltern has little sympathy.
My ingrown hair is really killing me, and we're slowing down the group. We need to maintain the pace, and I can't maintain the pace. Mark can't maintain the pace. Get your asses on a donkey.
With cerebral palsy, 21-year-old Kim uses 4 times the energy of an able-bodied person just to maintain their pace. At home, she avoids walking anything other than short distances. Uneven ground is a particular challenge.
Cerebral palsy primarily affects my ability to coordinate my muscles, to make them work together. So usually muscles all work together in pairs or groups. Mine don't. Some are too strong, too active, some are too weak. And that kind of affects everything that I do. Movements that I make take a lot more effort because it's not efficient, like my body's not working in an efficient way.
But she's determined to walk as much of the journey as she can. It's not Peter's turn to push or pull, so he gives Kim moral support.
Give me 100%, and then you can have a little rest point.
Shouting.
And this shouter is doing a
100%, 100%.
Shut up, shut up, shut up. Not helping. Honestly.
I think they're being cruel.
They're not being cruel, but...
I think they are. I can't look there, I feel.
Peter's not happy with Chiltern.
Look at them, look at her. We're as fast as the slowest person. But they talked last night about anyone who's not fast enough has to go on a donkey. And guess who that person always is. So, my own personal opinion is they're trying to go to wear herself out so she's completely knackered and has to go on a donkey, which she doesn't want to do.
Up ahead, Chiltern refuses to slow down.
I'm a person who loves to go as fast as possible. Keep the pace up.
Chiltern loves to push himself hard. He lost the lower part of his left leg in a motorbike accident 10 years ago.
Car came from a turning and basically knocked straight into me. The motorbike fell down and I just felt like a banging pain. You know when you bang your foot or you bang your shin on a bit of concrete? I fell down, the bone was sticking out like that. And the foot was turned almost this way. And so it looked totally weird and I had no feeling in the foot and I realised oh my God, this is really, really serious.
The accident changed Cholton's life. After 6 months in hospital and an intensive course of physiotherapy, he decided to become a personal trainer. His job is to push people beyond their personal limits.
So I'm good at pushing people. And when it comes to personal training, once you get an idea of what the person's capable of, then I don't accept any, I don't take any prisoners. I always see myself reaching the goal. So if people start doubting themselves, I think I can, quite good at giving everyone and myself a mental kick up the arse.
The gap between Cholton and Kim widens. Pete's concern turns to anger. As his frustration grows, his tics increase in frequency. Then, without warning, Mark, who's profoundly deaf, suddenly collapses.
Marco! I need the doctor here, quick. Mark, look at me. Relax, just try and relax, Look at me. Look at me. One leg.
Mark, look at me.
Mark's cries shock the group. It looks like the expedition has lost another team member.
So let it go.
We've lost one. I think we've lost one.
But Muckle soon diagnoses the problem. The relentless pace has put huge pressure on Mark's hip. It's weakened and gone into spasm.
Turn you onto your back.
The pace setters, Tim and Cholton, are busy putting blame elsewhere.
Pete should be working. He's been strolling up front having the fucking right laugh. Yeah, Pete needs to get on the fucking muscle.
But he's right there when everything happens, so that's annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
You try and do it, he's pushing it away.
Like he's Mr. fucking concerned.
Yeah, that's it.
If he was that concerned, he wouldn't allow it to happen in the first place. He wants to be the hero, but he doesn't want to do any work. I think we need to have a chat with him now. Lazy fucker.
After a thorough check, Muckle's happy that Mark has done no permanent damage.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Deep breaths. Big deep breaths.
I mean, the last thing we want is for him to go home. He is a lovely, lovely guy.
Yeah.
He's really coming out of his shell now as well. He's quite shy at first.
I don't think you've done any damage.
No.
I don't think you've done any damage. Your hip's moving very well, and you're doing well. I don't think you pulled any muscles.
I think it's time for Pete to get pulling, to be quite honest. Simple as that.
Just use your lecky poles, yeah, and just walk, yeah?
The thing is, you need a puller there.
No. Peter's going to do the pulling, yeah?
Can we clear stuff off the tarp, please, Pete? No, obviously not.
Oh, help it. No, you help it.
Mush!
With Mark forced to rest, there are now only 4 team members left able to push or pull. Tim, Peter, and leg amputees Cholton and Georgie. They're now down to their operational minimum.
I just feel, useless and worthless at the moment. So I'm just trying to take in the landscape and try and cheer myself up, and I hope the team forgives me. I didn't do it on purpose or anything.
With Pete pulling, Kim is once again left alone at the back. Late morning, the temperature's approaching 40 degrees. After 5 kilometers of hard pulling, Pete stops for a drink. Cholton and Kate just power on, leaving him standing.
Do you want me to push?
Yeah, help Georgie out the back.
Sure thing. Cheers.
Pete helps Georgie push Heidi for the next hour until they're forced by the heat to stop. Kate thinks Pete has deliberately stopped pushing her chair.
Peter doesn't want to be a team member. It's as simple as that. He said right at the beginning he was mentally strong enough to do this. He is mentally strong enough to do this, for himself, not for the team. That's what the problem is.
As tempers fray, Tim and Cholton join in, condemning Pete.
Yeah, get to the end.
Pete, I'm sorry to say this, mate, but despite your age, you're actually the least physically impaired individual here today. Okay?
I guess someone else to pull then.
No, you fucking pull.
Nice.
Okay? And keep pulling.
Okay.
Otherwise, he's going to fuck Shorten up, and he's not going to be able to pull it later on.
He didn't have to run off, did he?
He wasn't running off. He was just keeping a steady pace.
You messing about, mate. I just got sick and
You're
tired
just
of it.
strolling along like it's fucking, you know what I mean? You're walking down the high street.
The bike outside. They raced off. So
You ambled instead of...
No, you said you're tired. Don't lie. You said you're tired and you
You're just
stopped.
strolling along.
You didn't say don't lie.
I don't mean to shout, Pete. It's just when I'm putting a shitload in myself, it pisses me off when somebody else isn't, you know what I mean? And it makes it harder psychologically, you know?
Okay.
Certain members of the group have really got the wrong end of the stick with some of Peter's behaviour.
Lazy fucker.
He's been accused of lying, being disinterested, not pulling his weight within the group. I don't think that is his intention.
It wasn't an argument. I think that was a telling off.
What's happening is a combination of his disability, of some of his own personality, but also him trying to avoid the stressful situations that the group are generating for him is resulting in him seeming disjointed and at times offhand. When he's being told off, that raises stress levels for him. He becomes more hyperactive, his obsessional behaviours increase, he starts picking up stones, which is one of his behaviours, he starts spitting, his tics increase. But these are the manifestations of his disability. This is the problem that he has. And rather than recognising that, the group continue, in fact, increase the amount of prodding that they are doing.
Woo-ha! Yee-ha! Let's go. That's all right. Okay, back to normal formation. Slow it down. Good.
When Pete's stress levels rise, so does his need for order. So when Cholton deviates from the normal course of the path, Pete seeks reassurance.
So we're going to follow the fucking pathways. We're doing fine.
We're changing, we're adapting to every single thing.
Follow the pathways. It's fine. Okay, this way. God. What's that drone for, Case?
Cholton and Kate just get more exasperated.
All we want to do is avoid this.
No, I'm not arguing. I'm just saying, I thought we went along the pathways. Now we've changed it.
No, you know, sometimes the pathway's more sandy.
Okay. God.
Do you know, I just wish they'd stop bullying each other, because when people bully each other, nobody wins. Nobody wins. You know, it reminds me of that Lord of the Flies situation where, you know, the strongest pick on the weakest because they can, and eventually the team then goes into this big split. You know, the sum total of all that is that the weaker ones just drift away and, even worse, give up.
The lunchtime break is tense and silent. Mark, profoundly deaf, has watched Pete's increasing anxiety and feels he's been misjudged.
I do not work as hard as Peter. Peter works his bloody arse off. But the team can't see it. It's a similar thing with me. Mine's invisible. It's not a physical thing. Me and Peter relate really pretty well, very well in fact, because he knows all about the isolation. He knows about being left out of a group. I know exactly the same thing.
In the afternoon, they've 10 kilometres to cover. Tim, Cholton and the wheelchairs push ahead relentlessly, even though Cholton's stump is giving him pain. Once again, Kim is stranded at the back.
You killed me. Right. Okay.
Utterly exhausted and unable to walk, she decides to take the donkey. Up ahead, Cholton and the others don't even stop.
Right, we need to speed up ahead, guys. Come on.
I don't share his attitude towards the task at all. They all kind of self-congratulatory about how how strong they are and how hard they are and how tough they are. You know, I don't know what we're up to now. You know, quadruple hard perhaps this week. I don't know, but they're pretty hard, and they need to hear that all the time. It just bores me.
Doing well, bruv, mate.
Nice one, man.
Doing fucking well.
Nice one.
Heart, mate. Fucking heart.
Yeah, he's in a lot of pain, and I would maybe respect him more if he was like, you know what, my leg really hurts.
2 hours and 6 kilometres later, the tables are turned. Cholton gets a taste of his own medicine. The pace has become too much for the pace setter. He's given up pushing and is lagging behind. One by one, the slower members of the group catch up and pass him, including the smallest, Sophie.
One of the ironies here is how Cholton is doing compared to Sophie. Up top, Cholton's a monster, but for this kind of long grinding march, he may not be the right shape. His lower legs are disproportionately small compared to his upper body. Little Sophie, on the other hand, is slowly but steadily plodding along. It's a little bit like the hare and the tortoise. Cholton's working hard, rushing to get places. He's carrying extra bulk. Cholton may not be the man mountain that he seems so far.
A team of walking wounded arrive at camp in the early evening. That night, Dr. Muckle holds a full surgery. At the root of Cholton's limp, an ingrowing hair that's gone septic.
Had it out and protected a bit?
Georgie's hurting too, her left stump bruised and battered from walking on the unforgiving ground. Even Tim is laid low with exhaustion and diarrhea.
We're all looking their wounds and we're keeping on going. Wouldn't surprise me if one or two didn't make it till the end.
With the stronger members all injured or ill, there's a manpower crisis. Mark suggests partial paraplegic Kate takes the other donkey to alleviate the pressure on the wheelchair pushers.
Sitting on a donkey will not do my leg any good. It's as simple as that, okay? I think you phrased the point very insensitively, Mark, and I do take offence at it. Well, I do.
Listen. Can you just hear me out? Can you just hear me out, please, Kate? Can you just hear me out? Because you're about to. Yeah? There's been very little consideration given to Cholton and myself and Georgie. Yeah, the people who are putting some work in as well. No, seriously, there isn't very much consideration at all. Okay? You're taking offence at a suggestion that's designed to help us. Okay? Don't, because it's out of order. Take it in the motivation that's behind it. Don't take it personally.
The expedition is on the brink of failure. Day 19.
From here then, we've got to conserve water from here to here, over that 120 kilometres, because there is no water.
As the team prepare to go on, things start to unravel still further.
I think it's only been there a few days.
Heidi makes a routine visit to Muckle, complaining of a light graze on her backside.
You see it? I mean, I can actually feel that bit. It's not feeling it, but I can feel it. It's really hard to explain. But I can feel there's something, I can feel there's some sort of feeling there. So maybe I can feel it a little bit. But it's the sort of thing that I couldn't tell you where it was. I can just feel it's somewhere around there.
It's far worse than Muckle expected.
Oh, okay.
Most of it is a graze, a rubbing. You can see scratches on it. And the edges actually do blanch.
Muckle cleans the wound and takes a photo to show Heidi for herself.
Oh, right. That's quite big, isn't it? Cool, nice mosquito bites there too.
Do you see what I mean? It's quite superficial,
Yeah.
and the middle bit, that bit in the middle there is kind of graze, oozing just.
Muckle's in no doubt about the wound's implications.
It concerns me. That kind of thing is a nightmare for a spinal cord injured person. I mean, you'd think, how can you get that without knowing about it? Heidi has virtually no sensation below her hip bones, and unless she inspects and feels her skin every single day, she can have no idea and actually have a crater in the side of her leg. It could easily break down, become a hole within a few hours. So I think lunchtime again today, I want to have a look at that.
Today's trek is another 20 kilometres. It starts with a punishing uphill climb to the desert plateau beyond.
Hey, you take this. Fucking hell.
Sensing the top, Tim makes a final push.
Go on, Tim! Go on!
No waiting.
Mark comes to his aid.
1, 2, 3, go!
You all right, Mark?
Not really, no.
But he's still too weak to be of use to the team.
Rest your hip. Because sure as shit, you're going to be pushing like fuck later.
The only reward for their efforts, the barren wastelands of the desert plateau.
It's sort of unremitting.
Yeah. There's no trees to hide under. The ground is really soft and rocky.
And I'm just conscious it's going to be like this probably for the next 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, I've already got that sore on my leg. All this bouncing up and down is probably not helping it.
By lunchtime, the temperature hits a searing 40 degrees. The team put up a makeshift lean-to to shield them from the blistering sun. It's not the best place for a doctor's surgery, but Mukkul's desperate to check Heidi's wound. He takes one look. His worries are confirmed.
Okay, so there's quite a significant... I'm concerned about this. And obviously the thing to do with it, if we were elsewhere, you can see there was areas of it that were blanching and losing their colour when I pressed on them. And there's now areas that at the edge of it that are not doing that, and it's beginning to go dusky. Okay, so that's the early stages of possibly developing a pressure sore.
Heidi thinks the sand has aggravated it.
I've had sand on the cushion, sand on my skin, next to my shorts, rubbing away, I don't know. Apparently it's a lot worse than it was this morning.
Deeply concerned, Mukkul leads her away from the group to explain in full the dangers if she chooses to carry on.
Pressure sores are a dreadful thing. The deeper skin and deeper muscle layers underneath will start to break down, and eventually you can get to the stage where it gets right down to the bone. And all of that stuff that goes deep purple is dead.
Okay.
You've got that?
Yes, I have, yes.
Yeah?
But I also need to finish this expedition.
Okay. All right, that's for you.
This is a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm also part of a group.
Mukkul can advise, but it's up to Heidi to make the final decision.
My option is to finish this expedition. This is a big deal to me, finishing this, getting to the end, the whole group getting to the end, having the celebration. And if I'm going to screw that up, then, you know, I don't know.
If she had to go home now, being incredibly selfish, that would make my life so much easier and so much more pleasant for the next 8 days. But there is another aspect to it as well. I think if she went home now, I think the team would really suffer. I think there's an awful lot of people that would miss her.
Okay, we'll try and find a wedge, just lift you off that side.
Mukkul decides to give Heidi another chance. It's a big gamble. The wheelchair is padded to cushion the wound. But there's another 8 kilometers to go before they reach camp.
Go, 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 go. Chin up, arse up.
8 kilometers of rocky, bumpy road. After a 3-hour march, they finally reach camp, and Mukul can see if the gambles paid off.
It's just that the backrest on my wheelchair was digging into me.
Right.
It hasn't. The pressure sore has got worse.
So what do you think?
I think if you, at this stage, if you got off it completely for a few days, we're probably looking at, a week perhaps. I think that will heal over. It'll be a graze and it'll get better.
Okay.
It's not something that's going to go in a few hours, as you can see. So, that's where we're at. Right, so the nearest hospital is probably, or medical facility is probably 400 or 500 kilometres away. Right?
I just feel I'm going to fail, that's all. Sorry. I just don't want to go home.
Okay, all right.
I have failed everything I ever do in my life, and this was the one thing I was really going to prove to my parents and everybody that I could stick to. Because of a stupid fucking pressure, so I've got to go. I don't want to go. I want to finish this. I want to see the Skeleton Coast. I'm just going to be another freaking failure if I go home now.
I feel for you. I really do. I thought we were going so well with it as well, that you hadn't had any problems with. As you said, you've been one of my least frequent attendees.
I'm sorry.
All right, this is tough. Okay? You've been very brave through all of this. Okay, this is really tough.
On the doctor's advice, Heidi decides to give up her dream of reaching the Skeleton Coast.
Done so much already, Heidi,
I know, I just want to see the Skeleton Coast. I just want to be there with you guys. I want to finish it.
I know. Do you want a cup of tea or
I'd
something?
love one, please.
Cup of tea.
Thank you, Kate.
Oh, you're okay. It's okay.
I know we've had our differences, but thank you.
That's okay. I can't bear to see you like this, because it's so unfair.
Heidi was taken to hospital and never saw the Skeleton Coast. She recovered within a week. Next time, the team have to cross mountainous sand dunes.
There it is, guys. There it is. You've got 25 kilometres of that.
They begin to fall apart.
It's got worse.
And reject Ken.
At least we'll be going in the right direction, not exhausting ourselves pulling up a sand dune in the wrong fucking direction.
As the pain increases, their final destination looks further away than ever.